The third corrupt act. The third corrupt act. The original proposal was to buy 8 helicopters. Now, suddenly, after it became clear that Augusta is the only one that's going to qualify, they decided to buy 4 more. And the CIG says already the present 8 which was being used, the MI-8 or whatever, which was bought in 1988, was hardly utilized. In fact, the average utilization was 29% only. What is the need for this additional 4? Who are you think, which was the VVIP? Extra VVIP. Who you wanted to be given exclusive use so that it is always available perhaps in the backyard. Therefore, for this, the government spent an additional amount of 1,200 crores. Now, when price negotiations started, there is what is called as a benchmark estimate. Usually you ask the Air Force to give you a benchmark estimate. And the Air Force in January 2006 quoted the benchmark for this whole deal as 793 crores. That's the estimated cost, and then you could add plus minus a few things for other service charges. And this was approved by Mr. Anthony as Minister of Defense. But on September 2008, the committee which was called the Contract Negotiation Committee arbitrarily fixed, rejecting the 793 number, and fixed 4877.5 crores as the deal, which is 6 times more than what the Air Force decided. Shame. And this is there in the CIG report. This is an admitted fact. 4,877.5 crores when the Air Force said 793 crores, and Mr. Anthony as Minister of Defense had put his signature on it in the Defense Ministry. Which was that authority above Mr. Anthony who overruled him? From my personal knowledge, I will say it was not Dr. Manmohan Singh. He won't do any such thing. Now, thereafter, this is the interesting part. The Contract Negotiation Committee says, this is our benchmark number, and you make a proposal and then we'll negotiate. So then the Augusta Westland says, but we don't want so much, we only want 3,966 crores, so there is no negotiation, deal completed without any hassle. This is another Prevention of Corruption Act violation under section 13(1)(d). Now we come to the criminality. Mr. Deputy Chairman, it is very well known that corruption has taken place in this matter. Mr. Sharad Yadav may be living in another world. He has not read the statement of Mr. Anthony, where he said on March 25th, 2013, yes, corruption has taken place in the helicopter deal and bribes have been taken. He's sitting here. I don't think he will deny it. He said this to the press. He has said this privately to many people. Now, we have this, that there was bribe taken. Now, it can't be just one person in the Air Force. He cannot do this alone. And the Italian High Court judgment says that there were servicemen, there were bureaucrats, and there were politicians. They gave some names. In some of the parts of the judgment, they have given the full name. But in one note written by one of the middlemen, it is in AP or etc. etc. Now, Mr. Singhvi, taking advantage of the fact that most of us here are not lawyers, quoted the judgment of the Hawala, which he said that it was rejected, Mr. Advani was freed, Mr. Sharad Yadav was freed, everybody was freed. And then he said, no, this is no. He should read the whole judgment again or read the judgment fully here. The Evidence Act makes it very clear that if while the conspiracy is being executed, these are prima facie evidence for prosecution. And therefore, what happened in the Hawala matter is after everything had been executed, then this fact was discovered. It could not be used as evidence in the final trial where the charges have been framed. There is a distinction. Today, on the basis of AP and my suspecting, you know who, the CBI can go and interrogate him. All the names mentioned there, including the allegation that the Prime Minister of India, then Prime Minister of India, was contacted or was not contacted, that only interrogation can tell us, or what we call as recording of the evidence witness under 156 CRPC. What it says is that a plea was made to somebody in high place in Italy to make the Prime Minister of Italy contact our Prime Minister, of whom I have great regard. I know that personally he will do nothing wrong, but he takes orders very easily. That's his major minus point. Now, I would say that because his name appears so specifically, and the judge says that after that we never got any documents except a CAG report and the contract that was signed between the two countries, or the helicopter company and the Ministry of Defence. That's all we received. So we need to ask Mr. Manmohan Singh whether you had decided not to give any documents to the Italian government even despite the request. If so, did you make the decision yourself? Was it a cabinet decision, or it was a super cabinet decision, or somewhere else you got the orders from? He has to make it clear. And I would say, quoting the letter of Christian Michel, the person named there should also be interrogated, in my opinion, interrogated first, because it says that that person was the driving force behind this deal. That person was not a military person. That person has no qualification to talk about military technologies. And if she is the driving force, the CBI has a right to speak to her and say, what do you know about this case under 156 CRPC. Now, the criminality has been established because the total commission is roughly 250 crores. There is a pie chart given in the judgment. It says how it was distributed. So what I would say, Mr. Deputy Chairman, is that the facts, unadmitted facts, and admitted facts, and
ठीक है, जो और स्पीकर्स हैं उनको हम विड्रॉ करते हैं। पार्टी का भी टाइम खत्म हो गया, ये ध्यान रखिएगा। आपकी पार्टी का भी टाइम खत्म हो गया, इसलिए बोलने दीजिए। हम अपनी पार्टी के सारे मेंबर्स को विड्रॉ करते हैं जो और बोलने वाले हैं।
On page 225.
सर, इनकी मेडन स्पीच है। मेडन स्पीच पे सीनियर मेंबर्स को मेडन स्पीच पे नहीं रोका जाता।
If it is maiden speech is only 20 minutes. Now you have spoken for. ठीक है, ठीक है. Conclude as early as possible, quickly. You made all your points. Now you can go.
No, I have many more, but I got the party time now from our parliamentary affairs.
Party time is over. How much more? Look at the board. Subramaniam Swamy, please see the display board. Party time balance is -5.
सर, ये मेडन स्पीच है।
17 members signed also.
नहीं बाकी नहीं टाइम बाकी नहीं है
There you are. Akali Dal is also giving me time.
but they have no time your party time is over
All right, I'll conclude.
now please conclude
But it will be a long conclusion, but I'll conclude.
yeah please conclude okay
First of all, on page 225, please let it go on record. Please, page 225 details the High Court judgment of Italy, details the corruption lobbying by Italian company to get deals in India. Page 9 of the judgment reproduces the chart of commission sharing. That is solid evidence, prima facie, for the CBI to proceed ahead. If they are not cooperative, those people named, then there should be custodial interrogation, as I think Mr. Memon had suggested. It should have been done long time ago, that I agree, but that doesn't mean just because it wasn't done 2 years ago, it should be not done in the next 3 years. Next 3 years, I will also be there. I have filed private complaints, you see, and I have now developed expertise. I put Mr. Singhvi to grief in this. With this, my experience, I'm going to assist the government. So in the next 3 years, we will definitely find out all those who got the money and we'll put them in the right places. Now, second evidence, prima facie. Second evidence, prima facie, is a handwritten note written by the main broker, Christian Michel. Is he connected with some people in this country, particularly in the Congress party, when they were in power? Well, his father is well established. Those are documents which are available with the CBI and the Enforcement Directorate. His father was intimately connected. Many of the leading lights of that party went and stayed with him in London. And there are records of that. The High Commission in London. Then there is a handwritten note written on commission sharing by middleman Goodyear Huskey. That is also prima facie evidence. As per the handwritten note, the total commission is 30 million euro, roughly 250 crores. According to this note, Air Force officials have been given 6 million euro, roughly 50 crores. Top bureaucrats in the Defense Ministry have been given 8.4 million euros, roughly 75 crores. And the last category is political leaders. It's written the money in total of 125 crores is being given to AP. Now, who is this AP? We'll have to find out. The judgment on, then these Italians must be crazy people to give it to somebody who has nothing to do with the UPA government. The judgment on page 12093 to 2004 says, you please read that judgment. It names the AP. Who's that AP? By name it says the political secretary. Political secretary to whom I'll say, then you will expunge it, so I will not say it.
please
I'm not talking about you. Why are you saying political secretary? I don't know. I say he named it as the political secretary. Political secretary to whom? I didn't say political secretary to whom. Why is he getting so touchy about it? The photos of blank 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 and blank 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 were shown to Mr. Huskey in the trial by the Italian prosecutors and said, who are these? And he named them AP and the other person, who cannot be named, otherwise you will expunge it. These details are mentioned in pages 193 to 2004. Apart from these pages, yeah, please. Yeah, please. Please, sir. I'm on a point of order, sir. Now, yes, point of order. Others sit down. Others sit down. Anand Sharma. I am allowing Anand Sharma. I am allowing Anand Sharma. I am allowing Anand Sharma. I have already allowed Anand Sharma. I have already allowed Anand Sharma.
Sir, we have been discussing this matter and the discussion will continue. The rules have been observed, now they are being broken. Whatever
Which rule
is
is
being
broken?
read, please.
Which rule has been broken?
If we can listen, have
For
the
my
patience.
information, please.
It should be authenticated.
Listen the truth.
And at the same time, I am also demanding that all what has been quoted should be authenticated and tabled. Number two, the defense minister and the government, for the last few days what's going on outside the house, please table today authenticated certified copy scrutinized by your law department and the MOD here,
No, that-
not website, no
No, no.
website, you place
Say
it.
about this. Now please. Now please. Sit down. Let me deal with that. Sit down. Let me deal with that. Sit down. Now, sit down. No point of order. Sit down. Sit down. No point of order. Sit down. I'm not allowing you. Sit down. I'm not allowing. Now listen, Mr. No, please, Mr. Subramaniam Swamy. Now I'm concluding. Yeah, Mr. Subramaniam Swamy. Okay. Now, please. Yeah, you. It's only this. Now they are only concluding. Listen. They are only. No, please. I'll come to that. No, please. Now, Mr. Subramaniam Swamy, they are only demanding the right thing as per rules. Since you quoted, number one, you have to say what you are quoted from. Number two, you have to authenticate it and place on the table of the house. Do that. I will.